Here, the North Glen Energy Efficiency 101 workshop as part of the Xcel Energy Partners in Energy collaboration. My name is Melody. I am a community facilitator for Xcel Energy Partners in Energy, and I'll be leading you through things tonight. Also on Zoom, we have my colleague Zachary, who's kind of in the background. He'll be helping manage the chat, and if you have any tech issues, he or I will both be able to help. And we also have with us Becky Smith with the City of North Glen, who's been leading this effort for the city. Tonight we'll go have a pretty packed agenda, but hopefully allowed plenty of time for questions kind of throughout and also at the end. We'll spend a little bit of time just doing an overview of North Glen's Energy Action Plan, which was completed last year, and talk a little bit about one of those efforts as part of that plan, which is the Ward Challenge. We'll also spend some time understanding your energy use, and so we had folks fill out a survey prior to the workshop, so thanks for those of you that were able to do that. Just to kind of get a gauge for people's understanding of energy. The bulk of this evening we'll spend talking about what we call kind of quick fixes and resources, and this will be both things you can do yourself, but also Xcel Energy programs to help with your energy use and reducing your bill. And then we'll have time at the end for Q&A. So to start with, wanted to go over a little bit of what the North Glen Energy Action Plan is. And so through Partners in Energy, which is a free offering that Xcel Energy provides to communities in their service territory, we help different communities like North Glen, and we've worked with Thornton and Westminster and Greeley, kind of all over the Front Range and really the state of Colorado, but develop these energy action plans that really help the city set goals related to energy and then provide support for achieving those goals. And so North Glen spent about 6 months developing their plan in 2019. And through that, we came up with a vision statement to help guide North Glen's energy efforts. And that vision statement is that the North Glen community will conserve its resources and promote sustainability through energy awareness, renewable sources, and in collaboration to provide an exceptional quality of life and resilient future for residents and businesses. Through that, we also set a variety of goals that pertain to both residential, the residential sector, the business sector, and also the city, the municipality itself. I won't read off all of those, but did want to highlight that the top 2 goals are specifically related to residents, and that's why we're here this evening, is to really work on connecting residents to resources for energy efficiency and energy use. So just a bit of background information. In 2017, residences in North Glen made up 91% of the total buildings that are in North Glen. So heavily weighted towards residences rather than businesses, so I'm sure you're all kind of aware of. Despite the fact that they made up 91% of total buildings, it accounted for 61% of the total community energy use, which is still obviously a sizable portion, and so it's really important for residences to work on reducing that energy use to help the community overall. And the average energy bills for an entire year was just over $1,000. And so there's ample opportunity to provide cost savings that will help all of you, the residents of North Glen, with your energy bills, particularly as you know, economic situations are a bit challenging right now for a lot of folks. So really just looking to provide some of that energy savings while also reducing community energy. One of the ways that North Glen is working to promote that is through the Ward Challenge. And so as you may be aware, North Glen is divided into 4 different city wards. And so this competition kind of is a friendly challenge between all of the wards to see who can participate in the most Xcel Energy programs. And towards at the end of that, which will be next summer, where we'll be ending the challenge in June of 2021, the winning ward will receive some kind of celebration event. Obviously, depending on what kind of restrictions we're still under, but definitely want to recognize folks that were able to participate in that ward challenge. North Glen does have a website that I encourage you all to check out that discusses more about the Ward Challenge and provides updates about Xcel Energy programs and things that you can do to help promote the goals. So why, just what are the benefits to residents in participating in some of this? We really wanted to provide this workshop just so, to help everyone learn about energy efficiency and how you can be more comfortable in your home, but also reduce your energy bills. But we also want to think about it kind of on a community-wide scale and really the efforts that this goes into to helping overall electricity demand reduction, not just for North Glen, but Colorado-wide, which is ultimately better, just improves air quality and general carbon emissions across the state. This workshop is being recorded and will be posted on the North Glen Energy Action page on that website shown on the previous slide. And so we really encourage you to also share this with your neighbors and your friends and just really encourage them to get involved as well. And so just looking to build some community through energy savings. So as I mentioned earlier, we did send out a survey prior to this workshop, and I appreciate everyone that took the time to fill that out. Just wanted to show a little bit of the results of that. That survey just really helps us understand what the interests are of the people attending the workshop and what you as North Glen residents are most interested in. And so our first question was just asking why folks decided to attend this workshop, and offered up a variety of reasons and let everyone kind of select as many as applied. And certainly the top choices there were definitely interest in saving money on your energy bills, but also reducing your overall energy use and carbon footprint. We're also curious just how much people think about their energy. It's not often a common topic. I think about it a lot, but I know most people don't. So wanted to gauge some interest there, and it does look like the majority of people responded that you think about your energy and saving energy in your home a moderate amount. The next question related to familiarity with energy topics, and so this is just a gauge on how comfortable are people with talking about energy, but also their own energy efficiency in their homes. And the highest rating here was somewhat familiar. Hopefully coming out of this workshop will increase that just a little bit. We also asked people what is one thing that you hope to learn at the workshop, and certainly these also centered around conserving energy, saving money, tips and tricks, and also ways to reduce use without completely stopping use. So the example that this person responded with was obviously the best way to reduce your electricity from using your air conditioner is to turn off your air conditioner, but that is not always an option. And so just how do you continue to save energy that way? So this next section is about understanding your energy use. And so wanted to provide just a really brief overview of how to read your Xcel energy bill in case you're not familiar. We have some of these great resources here. Oh, I lost the screen. Sorry. And as I mentioned, this will be recorded, so you should be able to get to these links again later, but they are also on the main Xcel Energy website. And I know that was a pretty quick overview, so if you have questions, we can certainly go over those at the end, but a lot of what we'll talk about today in the workshop is just going over some of those savings tips that Xcel includes in their bills. Wanted to talk a little bit about the average energy use in your home. We often, as consumers, tend to think of it as one kind of mass amount, and obviously that is how we get billed for it. But the primary uses of energy in the average Colorado home are mostly for space heating, appliances, electronics, and lighting, followed by water heating, and then air conditioning. I will note that air conditioning is a smaller piece of that because so many homes in Colorado still do not have central air conditioning or even in some cases evaporative coolers, but this is rapidly changing. And so this data is a few years old, and obviously if you do have air conditioning in your home, you will spend a larger portion of your energy bill on air conditioning. But I point these out because these are kind of the main buckets that we think of when we think of energy efficiency. And so as we go through today, we'll be talking in terms of heating and cooling as the largest category, followed by appliances, electronics, and lighting, and then with water heating. And so as you think about your energy use, those are kind of the big buckets that we tend to lump things into. There's kind of some different ways that you can approach energy in your home. We think of it as kind of a whole house approach or opportunistic. And so a whole house approach really emphasizes understanding all of the systems and the energy that's in your house. This usually starts with an audit to understand where you can make improvements, which helps you understand energy throughout your home. It really focuses on making sure that all systems are efficient, which can save you a lot of money in the long run. It does, however, tend to be a bit of a higher investment up front. So just that initial cash outlay does tend to be higher with that kind of approach. But it has a higher reward and long-term savings. The opportunistic approach really focuses on single pieces of equipment and replacing upon failure. So if your hot water heater goes out, you're going to replace it right away, oftentimes with kind of the cheapest option because you weren't expecting your hot water heater to go out. So it's not necessarily top of mind to buy the most efficient option. So it really kind of emphasizes those short-term savings and focused on that. We still recommend that when equipment does fail that you choose the most efficient option if possible, just because you'll realize those savings long-term over time. Energy can be viewed kind of in three different ways. The top one is just focused on reducing your energy demand. And so that's really how much energy you're using, how you're using it, and then the third one is where your energy is coming from. So we really focus on reducing demand as the first step. And then because that feeds into the other options. Following just reducing your overall energy use is using that energy as efficiently as possible so you can get the most out of your systems and your money. Clean energy sources, which we think of as kind of where your energy is coming from, obviously, like solar and wind, for example, are kind of, we think of as third. One phrase that I heard one time I really enjoyed was that you have to have your energy efficiency vegetables before your renewable energy dessert. So just really focusing on kind of reducing that demand before you install things like solar, because that generally means you have to install less solar, for example. So oftentimes, this is a lot of information and people still don't necessarily know where to start because it's very hard to kind of study these systems and dig into them by yourself. But Xcel Energy offers a couple of really great options for residents to understand your home energy use. These are shown on the screen. The first of these is the Home Energy Squad, which is just $50 for an energy technician to come to your home. They'll do things like swap out traditional incandescent light bulbs for LEDs, install a programmable thermostat. They're also installing smart thermostats now. So connected to Wi-Fi, and those will adjust kind of based on your habits in your home. They also weather strip a door, and they'll install energy efficient shower heads and as well. These materials are all free. They're estimated at a $200 value for those $50. They also provide recommendations for further rebates and other things that you can do after the technician leaves. Due to COVID, they started offering a free virtual option, and so you do that on your smartphone or tablet, and basically an energy technician will walk through your home with you and instruct you on what systems to look at and what you're looking for. Following that visit, they'll again provide you with recommendations of rebates and upgrades for your home. And they'll also send you a free home efficiency kit for things that you can install yourself, which include things like shower heads and light bulbs. The next option is Home Energy Squad Plus, which is $150 and includes a bit more inspection and full energy audits of your home. They'll also do an air leak analysis with a blower door, and so really just checking for a lot of those air leaks in your home, which are pretty common, especially in older homes, and tend to lose a lot of energy. Anyone that gets both gas and electric from Xcel Energy is eligible for a Home Energy Squad visit. Others, that doesn't apply to North Glen, but if you were a customer that had only gas or only electric, you're still eligible. You just don't get the same installation measures. The account holder, so whoever's name that in, must fill out the authorization forms for someone to come to your home. And we really try to encourage those with older homes that still have incandescent light bulbs, older thermostats, things like that, to really sign up for this. Today we will be giving away a free Home Energy Squad visit, so stay tuned for that coming up shortly. I wanted to provide just an example of how this helps one person save money on their energy bills just from the visit, not from any of the additional recommended measures. But when they came to this person's home, the Home Energy Squad technician installed 45 LED light bulbs, and then also had weather stripping done on one door for free, and then paid just a little bit extra to have the second door done while they were there. They adjusted their water heater temperature and also installed a new water efficient shower head. And doing all of these things in that one visit for $50, they ended up with $900 in annual savings because their electric and gas bill went down by about $75, which is about a 37% reduction in those bills. And so pretty strong and exciting program for just $50 and a couple of hours for the technician to come to your home. So really encourage everyone to sign up. If you're not the winner of our giveaway, which is next. All right, Zachary, would you do a drum roll, please, for our winner?
Okay. Let's see what it generates here. And the winner looks like Larry. Their name Larry and Vivian. Congratulations.
Yay. All right. Great news. I think you guys might be on mute, but we'll be, yeah, there you go.
Hi there.
Hi, congratulations.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. I will be reaching out to you via email with the email that you registered for this event for, if that works for you.
Sure.
Okay, fantastic. All right, wanted to cover also just some low income assistance for those that, you know, meet the requirements, particularly under low income energy assistance program. That's one option, and they did extend the deadline, which is normally in April, but due to COVID, this has been extended to September 30th. So if you think you qualify, I really encourage you to log on to that website or call the phone number shown there to investigate that program. Come in and again install a lot of those energy efficiency measures for free. And it just really contributes to reducing those energy bills. There's also a program called Pay Arrangements for those that are having trouble paying the balance due, and you can spread the payments out over a bit of a longer time period. Finally, there's the Colorado Medical Exemption Program, which provides lower rates for those who use life support or other high energy using medical equipment. And so just a few options there if those are needed. Single family weatherization also falls under this category. Again, it's income qualified. They do a full energy audit of your home. They'll install LED light bulbs. They'll also check insulation, which is a bit different than, for example, Home Energy Squad. Work on sealing some of those air leaks. One nice thing about this program in particular is that through Arapahoe County, they are also, for income qualified customers, will do a complete furnace replacement if those are old or considered unsafe. So the income guidelines are shown there in the chart. So again, if you think you qualify for some of these, I really encourage you to log on to those websites and get some assistance. You're also welcome to email me if you have additional questions. All right, next I wanted to talk about a little more in depth of some of the quick fixes, again, with those major categories of energy that we talked about and other resources from Xcel that you can use. So the first of these categories, obviously the biggest use, again, is that heating and air conditioning, so heating and cooling. Some of these may seem relatively obvious for some of the quick fixes, but people often don't realize just how much savings you may be able to get from doing things like managing your windows, especially in the hot summer days. Just keeping blinds closed really helps keep in a lot of energy because the sun isn't quite baking your home so much. But likewise, you know, in the winter time, especially if you have really sunny windows, just making sure to really open up the space to let that sun in. It's not just nice to get the sun in the winter, but it does also have some heating effects. Storm windows can help reduce air from getting in, and they also have an added benefit of resistance to heat flow. So in the summer, those storm windows really help heat from getting into your home. Likewise, in the winter, it helps trap the heat inside. Again, insulation is a really big one, making sure that's good in good condition and isn't damaged. And some of that, there is an Xcel Energy program related to insulation and air sealing that will provide rebates to make the cost of new insulation cheaper with that. Again, obviously closing vents and unused rooms help with some of those savings. Another one that gets, I think, misunderstood from an energy savings standpoint, we all know we're supposed to change our air filter every 6 months, or lately a little more often with the wildfire smoke, but keeping those up to date can really add up to savings of up to 15% a year. And so just keeping track of when you change those filters over time, and just really not letting them get, you know, kind of gunked up, to ensure that those are doing their job and working as efficiently as possible. I would recommend, if you haven't thought of it, the wildfire smoke recently we've had kind of along the Front Range has done a number to air filters. I just changed mine recently and was really surprised at how gross it was. And so I would encourage you to check those when maybe you may not think you're due for one, but I would encourage you to look at that. Thermostat adjustments are another one that are a pretty easy thing to do and have some good savings associated with them. 1 degree kind of over time can result in 1% energy savings. So for example, during the day, if you usually set your home to 74 degrees, if you bump it up to 75, you'll see that 1% energy savings, and that just adds up over time. May not seem like a lot, but certainly over the long term, that makes a difference. And also using a smart or programmable thermostat. Again, this is one of the items that the Home Energy Squad will install when they come visit. But these really programmable thermostats, you know, you set yourself, and a Home Energy Squad technician can help you program that. But it really helps you remember to, you know, change your thermostat before you go to bed or before you leave for the workday, or you know, if you're just not at home, it's not running at kind of the same temperature that would be if you were at home. Smart thermostat, which does have to be Wi-Fi connected, tends to learn your habits kind of over time. And so those can kind of automatically adjust as you use it more. Those are available in the Xcel Energy store, and they often do go on sale, which I believe I have some links for that coming up. So related to that, we have a couple of Xcel Energy programs to go over related to these. So cooling rebates, there are rebates available for air conditioners. So this is central air conditioning systems. Up to a $600 rebate is available for high efficiency systems, which helps reduce your monthly electricity bills. There's participating contractors that you are required to use. Honestly, a lot of contractors around the Front Range are qualified, but the website shown there, xcelenergy.com/staycool, will connect you to some of those contractors. Alternatively, evaporative cooling works really well here because of the lack of humidity, and they use 75% less energy than central air conditioning. And so if you're looking at adding cooling to your home, this is often a really great option. And Xcel offers up to $1,200 in rebates, depending on the system for those. Likewise, there are heating rebates for furnaces and for gas furnaces, and also for electric heating that can help you save, again, hundreds of dollars on your heating bills. I mentioned earlier that there's also insulation rebates available. Those rebates can help you save up to 35% of the total cost of new insulation. And this has impacts both on heating and cooling. It's also got just some added benefits of keeping your home comfortable, but also just general health. Some of that insulation, again, can help with things like wildfire smoke from getting into your home. Often with those insulation savings, you'll see up to 10 to 20% reduction per year on your energy bills. It does look like we have a question in the chat asking, what is Xcel's take on Wi-Fi smart plugs? They may save energy, but the plug is ghosting energy, so what we call kind of vampire loads continuously. I don't believe, Chun, that Xcel has a strong stance kind of one way or another. They do sell them through the Xcel Energy store, and there are rebates available on those. They do, while they are kind of ghosting energy or using some of that energy while they're plugged in, it's not nearly as much energy as just your electronic devices when they stay plugged in. But I can certainly follow up and see if they like strongly recommend those, or if they if there's a strong stance at those, if you would like me to. Continuing on with some of the programs for heating and cooling. Related to the smart thermostats, there's a program called AC Rewards, which provides you with a $25 credit each year for using the smart thermostat. And through that, it basically allows Xcel Energy to make really minor adjustments to your thermostat during the hottest summer days to help reduce the electricity demand. And so because it's Wi-Fi enabled, they will make those adjustments about 5 to 10 times, no more than, I guess it's no more than 10 times, but usually just about 5 times a summer. And this is just changing it just a couple of degrees. Usually the highest, the hottest part of the day is also when the most electricity is being used, kind of Xcel territory wide. And so adjusting that just really helps them reduce that electricity demand, which in turn keeps your rates as a consumer lower. If that demand continues to increase, then the rates also increase. So there's a real incentive there for trying to reduce electricity demand kind of in the hottest part of the day. If you don't have a smart thermostat or you're not interested in adding one, you can also participate in Savers Switch, which is a $40 credit once a year. Again, they add this device to your central air conditioning system, and it works much the same way as AC Rewards. Xcel Energy will modulate that a couple of times a year, generally in 15 to 20-minute intervals, just to help reduce that energy demand. And so now it's time for our second giveaway, which is a smart thermostat. And so you can use this to install and get started in AC Rewards and some of these other programs and start seeing some of those energy savings. So Zachary, do you have our second winner?
I do. Congratulations to Veronica Cruz.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
All right. Veronica, is your contact info the email you signed up with the best way to reach you for that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
All right, the next major category of energy use is appliances, electronics, and lighting. So some quick fixes for these are around, using some of those heavy energy appliances. So air drying rather than using your dryer. Dryers tend to use a lot of energy. Also, washing your clothes in cold water will reduce natural gas bills because you're not having to heat the hot water. Obviously, only running your dishwasher when full, but then also air drying dishes. I grew up in the Midwest, so this was a very novel concept to me moving to Colorado, but the air is dry enough here that you can actually do that. So it's a good energy savings thing that you can do. As answered by one of the questions we had earlier, switching your power strips off, or also using some of those smart power strips to reduce those loads. So phantom loads are when you keep, for instance, your computer plugged in and not turned, or even if it's turned off, it's still pulling a fair amount of energy. And some of those power strips are designed to just reduce the energy that it's using. One thing we mentioned quite a bit in the Home Energy Squad segment was switching to LED light bulbs. And so through the Home Energy Squad, they will install those for you. But these LED light bulbs, while more expensive up front, they do save 70 to 90% of energy compared to the old traditional incandescent light bulbs. And so the savings there are pretty significant, especially if you have a home with a lot of lighting. They also last quite a bit longer, ranging anywhere from 15 to 25 times longer than those incandescent bulbs. And so you're not installing light bulbs nearly as often. Another way to check some of your appliances and electronics is the energy guide label that's on things like your refrigerator, your dishwasher, clothing washers and dryers, and just really showing what the energy use is there. And they'll have, you know, you can see just recommended ways to reduce the use there. When you do have to install new appliances, really going for those Energy Star appliances, which tend to use up to 25 to 50% less energy than non-Energy Star rated appliances. And so that's a good way to look for those savings when you're either buying or moving into a new home or need to replace some of those things. So as I mentioned, the lighting deals, there are discounts available from Xcel Energy for up to $3 per light bulb to help with some of the savings there. Xcel Energy also offers a program called refrigerator and freezer recycling. So old refrigerators and freezers, they may be plugged into your garage and you're just not sure what to do with them. Are real energy hogs. The old ones, especially anything that's older than, you know, 15 to 20 years, is just using way, way more energy than things today. And so Xcel Energy will come pick up your refrigerator or freezer for free. They'll get rid of it and recycle it. They are currently doing no contact pickup, and so you don't have to, you know, have much interaction. They don't come in your home. And you get a $50 rebate. So it's a pretty easy way to get rid of those if you have them in your home. As I mentioned earlier, the Xcel Energy store has rebates on smart thermostats, power strips, LEDs, faucet aerators, and other smart devices. And so if you're looking for any of those things, I encourage you to check out that website. They also have a program called Home Smart, which is it's an appliance service plan, but through the utility. And so it's really intended to help keep appliances running efficiently and provides a little bit of replacement assistance. And so it's monthly payments to help service those appliances. The next biggest category is water heating. And so this primarily comes from natural gas. So your gas bill that you receive is what's going towards the water heating. Really installing those low flow shower heads and faucet aerators can save you up to 60% between the water and the natural gas bills. And that's annually. So those are a good option. And again, provided there are some available through the Xcel Energy store. Obviously taking fewer baths and shorter showers, just so you're using less hot water over time. Another key one is to lower the temperature on your hot water heater. These are often set much higher than they need to be, and they're still effective at the 120 degrees Fahrenheit. But the 10% reduction is up to 5% in savings annually on that. So I moved into a new home last winter, discovered mine was set at, I think, 140. And so, you know, that 10% reduction down has really added up over time. You also really want to check for leaks, especially through anything that is using that hot water. Making sure that your water pipes are insulated so that you're not losing that heat as the water is heated. Using a water heater wrap, so it's just a like metallic looking blanket basically for your hot water heater that helps keep that heat in. And then again, just installing efficient water heaters when you do have to upgrade. Xcel Energy does offer water heater rebates on a variety of types of water heaters. So there's storage tanks, tankless hot water heaters, also heat pumps that actually switch to using electricity rather than gas. These rebates are anywhere from $70 to $450, and you can also get instant rebates at local Home Depot stores. And so that's a good way rather than having to go back online and fill something else out. I wanted to touch just briefly on some renewable energy options. This is something people are also often very interested in, especially paired with energy efficiency. These can be really great, especially as you're looking to kind of reduce your carbon footprint, but help North Glen and Xcel Energy meet their energy goals. And so Xcel offers categories for on-site renewable energy. This is solar, so it's primarily on your home. And then subscription options, which include wind source, which we'll talk about in just a moment, Solar Rewards Community, which is a community solar garden, and then a relatively new program called Renewable Connect. Renewable Connect is not currently open for new subscribers, but there should be an offering coming up soon. So stay tuned for that. You should receive emails from Xcel if that becomes available. So these on-site options include programs called Solar Rewards and Net Metering. Both install solar on your rooftop. The only difference is that in Solar Rewards, Xcel Energy is paying you a monthly incentive for any energy that you generate. Your monthly use is offset by that amount, and so if your monthly bill is, let's say, 1,000 kilowatt hours and your solar system generates 1,000 kilowatt hours, then you're not charged for that energy amount. You do still have to pay the fees associated with basically just being hooked up to the grid, but it can significantly reduce your monthly bill with that offset. Your system can be up to 120% of what you traditionally use in a year. So there is that opportunity to actually generate more than what you use, particularly in the summer months. If you go through Solar Rewards, Xcel does require a 20-year contract term. And I believe there are options to transfer that to a new owner should you sell your home. But that would be a good question to double check the website for, or if you're interested, just make sure that that's an option if you believe you'll be selling your home eventually. Net metering, again, very similar. However, you're not getting paid an incentive from Xcel Energy, but your monthly use is still offset. You can still size the system for 120% of your energy use. And there's kind of open enrollment. You can do this at any time. The subscription options available right now are Solar Rewards Community, which is otherwise known as Community Solar Gardens. And so they work kind of like a traditional community garden. You sign up to basically subscribe to a portion of that solar garden for your home energy use. And then you get a bill credit on your monthly Xcel Energy bill. So this doesn't require installing any solar on your rooftop. Oftentimes these are, kind of outside of the city limits a little bit, but within your county or the next county over. It's just it's a good way to help maybe get some reduction on your energy bills and also still promoting that renewable energy on the system without having to have it on your rooftop. Wind Source is the wind subscription program, and so it's 100% local wind or however much you choose. So you can choose to subscribe to 50% of your monthly bill. And this offsets your energy use to be considered renewable. There is an additional cost to be part of Wind Source, but it's relatively minor. It's 1.5 cents a kilowatt hour. And so on your bill, you can see that monthly use in that kilowatt hours. So just add that kind of 1.5 cents for each one. These are sold in blocks. And so when you sign up, you can choose to sign up for 100% of your use or just a portion of it. This is just a table to kind of compare the different options that are available. I won't go in this in depth, but this resource is available on the website. And as I mentioned earlier, this webinar will be available for reference later on. It's just a good way to kind of compare the different options and what the financial commitments are of each of the different programs. Give folks just a minute to look at that if you'd like. All right. Before we wrap up and spend some time on our Q&A, I wanted to provide you with a couple of next steps and things that we'd really appreciate you all doing. You may have seen in the advertisements for the workshop that North Glen is graciously giving away gift cards to different restaurants and businesses in North Glen for everyone that attended. In order to receive those, please email Becky Smith at bsmith@northglen.org and with your address, and she will get those sent out to you, and everyone here should receive one. Becky, I believe those are $25 gift cards, is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. And I can also give my phone number if someone would rather call me for the gift card, and I'll just give it right now. It's 303-450-8741.
Great, thanks, Becky. The next thing we recommend, and we've talked about it quite a bit this evening, but is to schedule your home energy squad visit. Again, those are just $50 and can result in pretty significant savings over the year. And so on the screen here, you'll see the phone number, 303-446-7910, or you can also sign up online at xcelenergy.com/homeenergysquad. Next, we just encourage you to find some of those quick fixes. You know, come back to the webinar or refer to your notes on some of those things that you can do yourself at home. There's also tips available on the North Glen Energy Action Plan website. So that, again, that's northglen.org/save-energy. This website will be updated throughout the Ward Challenge with different programs and just how things are kind of going. So stay up to date there. North Glen's also sharing a lot of information on their social media pages. So I encourage you to follow them on Facebook and Twitter and also on Nextdoor to get some of that information. If you have a great experience or just know, that your neighbors are kind of trying to save some money, we really encourage you to also tell your neighbors to sign up or also to view this webinar. It's just a great way to kind of build some community and get everybody on the same page. Finally, if you are able and you're on your computer, we're going to launch a poll just to kind of gauge what you thought of this evening before we all take off. So Zachary, if you could go ahead and launch that, please.
Did something happen?
Here, how do I do this?
Okay, you should see a screen that's asking a couple of different questions, and you can select your options.
You have to put your cursor in the hole. Is this the one you want?
Yeah.
Okay. Next.
Looks like almost everyone's answered. Give
Great.
it a little bit longer.
Yeah, I think we're good, Zachary. Thank you.
Sure.
All right. Well, let's see. It looks like most folks are pretty likely to take action on something today, so I'm very glad to hear that. And hopefully some of the things you learned were relatively easy to do. And a little bit of increase in energy knowledge. I know it's some of it was relatively basic, but also just good general overview of some of those energy efficiency principles. And appreciate the overall ratings. If you've got any comments, you know, we'll move on to our kind of comments, questions, and ideas. So if there's ways we can improve this workshop, or you know, if you have other ideas for us, please feel free to share those or put them in the chat box. But we'll go ahead and open it up for any questions now. If you are muted, you can hover over the bottom of your screen, and in the far left, there should be a mute button you can unclick.
Melody, I have a question.
Sure, Ed.
So a couple years back, I upgraded to the compact fluorescence over the incandescents, and now they've moved on to LEDs. I've already spent a lot of money. Do you still think it would be beneficial to move to LEDs over the compact fluorescence?
Yes, I do. And I know I've had the same thought. There was a big push for those quite a few years ago, and they are pricier. I think it's good to kind of phase them in, but the LEDs, I forget the exact numbers, but I want to say instead of that kind of 75 to 90% savings over incandescents, I think the LEDs see savings like 40 to 50% over CFLs. And so there's still just some pretty significant energy savings there. They generate a lot less heat than the CFLs do. They're also easier to dispose of, which I personally really like. I find the CFLs a bit challenging. So I would say yes, it's still recommended to move on to those. Obviously not the easiest to do all at once, but you kind of go room by room each year or something. Good way to go about it.
Thank you.
There, I have a question.
Sure.
So are all the links that you provided going to be on your website, or where can we get those at?
Yes, so we'll put the links together. They're available on the northglenn.org/saveenergy website. And so this, this recording will be there, and we'll also make sure that all of the links are updated.
Okay. Do you have any more information about if you do have an elderly person that lives with you and they're on an oxygen machine for 24 hours a day, what kind of energy efficient program we can maybe get on?
Yeah, I would really recommend looking into the medical exemption program. Let me see if I can get back there quickly. Here it is. So at the bottom of the screen there, there's a phone number you can call and also a website to look at. And so there should be some lower rates. They may have recommendations on more efficient equipment. I'm less familiar with that, but I do know that program will help with kind of the cost savings aspect.
Okay. And I guess I can't get back to that. I'm trying to go back, but will that link be on your the website you were just talking about?
Yes, we'll add it.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Can you tell me what's more efficient, a gas dryer or an electric dryer?
I don't know for sure. I believe an electric dryer. Don't quote me on that. I can find out for sure.
Also, can I get Becky's phone number again?
Sure. It is 303-450-8741.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
And just a reminder, if you call or email, please leave your address so that I can mail the gift card to your home.
Okay, thanks.
All right. Are there any other questions? We've got just a couple minutes left before our time is up.
Yes, I have one more question about what the gentleman just asked about gas versus electric.
Mhm.
We used to have a gas dryer and it seemed to be less at the time, but now that electric has went up so much, that's my dilemma. Should we go back to gas? And so I'm curious about that too.
I don't have a good, honestly, I don't have a great answer for that, but I can do a little bit of research. And with the links and everything, I can email the group again if I find out some good information.
Okay, I would appreciate that. Yeah, just because gas has went up, I mean, electric has went up so much in the last year. It's been unbelievable. And we have 5 people in our home.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you.
All right, anyone else? All right. Well, I really appreciate everyone joining us this evening. I hope you found it valuable. Thanks again for being here. Hope you have a good rest of your evening.